Welcome back, Truth Seeker. February 20th, 2019, the 51st day of the year. Before we get to the date numerology, I just want to make a point about something that we've talked about. Ongoing, important discussion. ESPN has up this headline today. Jerry Stackhouse, Rasheed Wallace. Reminds me of when I was a child. But anyway, can't wait for the 249th meeting. This is about Duke and North Carolina playing today. So all time, this is the 249th meeting. And notice what number Duke's at in the wins. 111. Again, Blue Devils 111. Zion Williamson's full name's 111. We've seen a lot of 11-1 rituals with Duke this year, becoming 11-1 in New York, becoming 11-1 in the ACC. But anyway, this is the all-time meetings, this number, and this is ESPN's front page. So ESPN's going by the all-time number. If you come to the, since they became major school stats, it'll only be the 180th meeting. So again, I still don't know what series records are considered more important in college basketball, but I do think it's probably best if we look at both. And yeah, that does create more work, but hey, when you go the extra mile, it usually pays dividends. Then again, the problem can be looking at too many numbers can make things confusing. So no doubt what we're witnessing, though, when we decode these games is that the immediate season numbers, meaning the win-loss record for the immediate season, it's obviously more important than even the historical and season matchups. Like 2 days ago, we were looking at the Wisconsin, was it Wisconsin, Illinois? I can't remember which game it was. There was one where one team had a clear read for the immediate season record, and another team was like, well, they got something in the all-time series record. Well, the all-time series record didn't end up mattering. It was more about the immediate season. But still, for these all-time records, we probably should look at both, since they became major schools and the all-time head-to-head. ESPN today, the number they put up is the all-time, going to be the 249th. So start with that discussion point. And here, let's also review before we talk about today's date numerology. Let's just go over yesterday's games. Let's see here. So we did well in college basketball and hockey yesterday. Thought Kentucky would beat Missouri. Missouri didn't have any reason to believe in them. Thought Tennessee would pick up the 24th win on the 24 date. The Purdue-Indiana riddle. Purdue had the better immediate season riddle, and we did favor that riddle, so we were right to be on this side of it. But Indiana had the all-time series record riddle. Indiana could have picked up their 67th win on the 19th, and 67 is the 19th prime. So again, that's where it's more about the immediate season record than the series record. Again and again we see the immediate season record trump the series record. Not always, but definitely more often than not. And again, what did we say about Purdue becoming 19-7? That's a lot like 197, the 45th prime, and Hoosiers is 45. And 13's 45, and there's Indiana 13-13 now. Florida State had the numbers to beat Clemson to get the 21st win on the 21 date. That happened. I said if there was going to be any upsets last night, I liked Baylor to beat Iowa State. This was a tough riddle, but I said if I was going to bet on this game, I'd take Baylor to cover, and they did. They won the game. So I hope some of you guys won on that one, because that was probably the best payout last night in college basketball. Baylor had the juice. This is the only game that we were on the wrong side of in college basketball, was Maryland and Iowa. This one surprises me a little bit because, again, Iowa equals 21. We had 21 date numerology. They could have picked up their 21st win in Iowa. And, I mean, it was a razor-thin game, but this is the one that surprises right here. So, but then again, I mean, when you do this, you're usually going to be on the right side of the decodes. There's going to be some games that surprise you. This is the one that surprised me last night. And Buffalo was a easy pick, but again, they were a huge favorite, so nothing special there. Buffalo got their 14th all-time win. Buffalo got the 14th win in the 43rd series match, 43 the 14th prime, and they gave Ohio the 14th loss. And that's like Florida State. Florida State, it was the 73rd series match, 73 the 21st prime. Real quick, I want to look at the Maryland-Iowa head-to-head. I forget what it was. I want to see if there was something we overlooked. Since that is the one game that surprises me. Oh, yeah, okay. So this is the one where we were all thinking it was the 9th game, and if Iowa won, the series would have been 4-5 from their perspective, kind of like 45. So that didn't end up mattering, but yeah, just that 21st win on the 21 day. Thought it was going to happen, especially since Iowa was the 21 seed and, again, in their home state. So it's okay. We did great. I mean, that's still pretty great. We were on the right side of all games but one. Some of the picks weren't too hard, but and then NHL. Let's review NHL real quick, and then we'll get on with it. And then tomorrow the NBA starts back up, so hopefully we can we got to correct what's been going on in the NBA. That's for sure. Okay, so yesterday we were following the date numerology, especially 60 and 24. We said the Panthers could get their 60th points. They did, and they stayed at 24 losses, 24 60-date numerology. This Devils-Penguins game, the Devils could have got their 24th win, but the concern was Devils equals 71, and the Penguins could get the 71st points. So in this situation, the points overplayed the date numerology. And I don't think that the points usually overplay the date numerology. I just think that's one of those iffy situations. So we're going to continue to document and see if we can get more certain about things like that. But that was probably one of the trickiest calls with the date numerology yesterday. We like the Lightning to beat the Flyers, and we think we have a good read on the Flyers to lose their next game and then win against the Penguins on February 23rd. Again, Philadelphia Flyers equals 96. The Lightning got their 96 points. Tampa Bay 25. The Flyers got their 25th loss. The Rangers got their 60th points, 60-date numerology. I said to stay away from this game because it was just it was too iffy. So that was a crossed-out game. This Maple Leafs Blues game, and this one was tough as well. The Blues now have won 11 straight, the master number. The thing that was tough about this game is the Blues could have got they could have stayed on 67 points on the 19th, 67 the 19th prime. And the Maple Leafs, they did stay on 19 losses because this game went to overtime, so they got an overtime loss. I think I did point out yesterday that Blues equaled 76, and the Maple Leafs might end up with 76 points. So it was just tough, though, because the Blues were on 67 points. They theoretically could have stayed on 67 on the 19th. But I'm pretty sure we did mention that Blues is 76, and there was a chance that they'd gain 1 point, which they did. So anyway. Ducks Wild, we liked the Ducks to win to keep the Wild at 60 points on the 60-date numerology and pick up their 24th win. Predator Stars, this was another tough read here, this game. And the Oilers stayed on 24 wins as well. 24 wins. So the date numerology was awesome. The date numerology has been awesome in hockey. I mean, hockey, we're doing great. So we'll just stick with what's working. And that said, let's get into today's games. Okay, so it's not the NBA. I'm just keeping track of the day count. So when the NBA starts tomorrow, I don't know, it'll be the 129th day. But it is the NHL season. It's the 141st day of the NHL season. Today has 61-date numerology. That's the 18th prime number. So we're going to be watching for the 61 and 18 in a big way. 34-date numerology, 16-date numerology, And again, you can also think of the prime number relationship. So like 53 is the 16th prime. If we see somebody going for their 53rd points or 53rd series win, that could be relevant. Our less important date methods where we don't use all the numbers, we have a 41 date, the 13th prime. Let's check this real quick. Caller?
Jack Attack.
Hey, are you in the live stream?
JT, yes, I am.
Very cool.
Hey, man, I just want to tell you, you killed it last night, man. I did really well, and but I also missed a six-teamer on that Predator Dallas game with that ridiculous 30-second empty net goal at the very end of the game. It was my last six. It was the sixth final game. I'd had all the other five. It was a $50 payout, $650. I missed. 30 seconds left, man. It just killed me.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I see the Stars could have stayed at 24 losses, and they picked up the 25th loss. Yeah.
Yeah, and you gave them the edge. So what I've been doing, I don't know if maybe it'll help some of the newer guys, but what I've been doing with the hockey is, you know, when the games are close, I take the team that has the plus on the puck side, on the puck line. So, like, I took Dallas on the puck line. So, you know, it looked like it was working out. But I also took that with the close call on the Jersey, the Devil game. I took the puck line there and hit that one. There was a couple other ones. And then the thing about the favorites with the hockey is there's no sense in taking the puck line with them because then, you know, they have to win by 2. So you're better off. Right. Yeah, you're better off taking them on the money line. And I don't know if people are aware, but you can mix and match on a parlay. You can mix the money line and the spread line.
What site do you use for your picks?
So I use Bet Online.
Bet Online, okay.
Yeah, Bet Online, and they're pretty good. So
I don't think every site allows you to do that with the parlay. So that's cool that they allow you to do it there.
Yeah, it is really cool because that can definitely swing the odds in your favor with something like that. So
yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to add that for some people that might not know. So
all right.
But yeah, thanks. But yeah, great night though last night. Thank you, man.
All right, could have been even better, but congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, take care.
All right, you too.
Yeah, it sucks to come up one game short. Yeah, Okay, so let's come back. Today's date numerology again. 61 date, the 18th prime, 3416. I'd rank these numerology methods above these two because these two don't use all the digits. But we do have a 41 date as well, the 13th prime, and a 22 date. And when we look at basketball, remember that's the big number. Basketball equals 22. And then it's the 20th of the month, so don't forget that. And its prime number relationship is 71 is the 20th prime. It's also the 51st day of the year, leaving 314 days remaining. And remember, 314 is kind of like pi. So if we see anybody with a chance to go like 22-7, I'm not going to be downing that today. If there's some, you know, if we see anything like that. That said, let's start with college basketball because there's not that many NHL games. We'll do college basketball, and then we'll come back to NHL, and then we'll review at the end like we always do. Let me check the chat here. Okay, let's see. All right, college basketball. Let's do it. Oh, hold on. We got another call here. Caller? Caller? Well, he called and he hung up. All right. Today, what we're going to try to do is look at the all-time head-to-head and the modern era. But first, we'll start with just the immediate season record because no doubt about it, that's more important. So right away, what I see with this game on the surface is Michigan State can get their 22nd win on the 22 date and their 13th Big Ten win. That goes with our date numerology. We have a 22 date and we have a 41 date, the 13th prime. and they're a big favorite, so we're not going to spend a lot of time on this game, but let's just see what it is, just in case there's something in the cards for an upset. But it already looks pretty good. Not that that's a good payout game. It's going to be the 9th game. Wow. They beat them every time. That's funny. Okay. Jeremy's got something in the chat. I'm just checking Jeremy's post here on the other screen real quick. Okay, he's doing work already on the college basketball tournament. Be sure to check out Jeremy's link. I'd save it. Jeremy's always doing great decodes. All right, I'll come back and look at that more. Thanks, Jeremy. All right, hold on here. Let's see. Michigan State, Rutgers, all-time head-to-head college basketball. No. I just want to see if we can find that all-time head-to-head and see how easy it is to find for each team. No. Oh, that's all right. I'm not sure it's going to exist for every school matchup all time, like Duke, North Carolina. Anyway, here, we'll look for other games. I don't think it's worth a lot of time to spend on this. Michigan State's got the numbers for the date. Big favorite, not a great payout. I don't see any reason to doubt them, so. Okay, Villanova, Georgetown. Here's a little bit more interesting game. Let's see. See if anything jumps out about the date in light of today. It's gonna be The only thing that jumps out to me about the just looking at things, it's not the date. It's just that with a Georgetown upset in their 13th game in the Big East, they could get their 6th win, and 13 and 6 have a prime number relationship. But let's see here. Dakota's got something in the chat here. Maybe this document has the all-time Rutgers. Let's see. This one says Michigan leads 7-0, so different. I wonder if it doesn't include like tournament matches or something. Okay, thank you, Dakota. All right, let's look at Georgetown, right? So 76th game in the major schools era. I see Villanova's at one of their magic numbers, 36 wins, 39 losses. I think both of those numbers are specific to both schools. Villanova's 36, it's Georgetown. Oh no, George, that's what I was thinking about, 39, George. Okay. See if we got an all-time for this one. Villanova, Georgetown college basketball, head-to-head, all-time. Oh, yeah. Was this the college championship and the first ever March Madness? With Patrick Ewing? Is this what it was? Yeah, it was. The first ever March Madness, Villanova over Georgetown. So, could be an interesting game here. All right, so Dakota, he knows how to find these documents. He goes to the school's websites and finds them for each school. You're good at that research, Dakota. I haven't been able to pull those up as easily as you have. I'm going to have to add that to my repertoire, figuring out how to get those all-time series records better. But, okay, coming back to this, the one thing that's concerning to me is, well, not one thing. I guess there's one more thing there on the date numerology, isn't there? Georgetown can get their 16th win, and they can get their 6th win in the conference in their 13th conference game, 13 to 6 prime. So Georgetown actually has a number of things that line up here. And we just saw this in the Super Bowl with the 6 and 16 relationship. So I'm thinking Georgetown has some good numbers here to upset Villanova. Dakota, instead of linking, Dakota just linked the Georgetown Villanova thing. Can you link the page, Dakota? Can you link the page before you get this document, the page where you're getting this document from, so I can see what you mean when you go to these schools' websites and pull it up? All right, hold on. So overall record 43 to 40, and this must be from Georgetown's perspective. So the one thing that's concerning there is Georgetown could also get their 41st all-time loss today. And again, we do have the 41 date numerology. This is from Georgetown's perspective. I'm looking at the document that Dakota linked. It says the overall record between these schools is 43 and 40. It also says that Georgetown is 22 and 16 at home all time. So we have the 22 date and the 16 date. Georgetown is at home, right? Yeah. Ugh. Well, we can make a riddle both ways, but honestly, I feel like Georgetown has the better numbers here. I mean, that 16th on the 16 date, the 6th win in the 13th conference game, 13 the 6th prime. And then what's that do in the major schools era? Keeps Villanova at 36. It says Georgetown has lost 9 in a row. Georgetown's on a 9-game losing streak to Villanova. 9 straight losses. What's Hoyas equal? Georgetown Hoyas. So we got the 22 date. Hoyas. Georgetown Hoyas 197, the 45th prime. 45 is the 9th triangular. They're on a 9-game losing streak. Villanova's the Wildcats too. I got to give the edge to Georgetown in this game. They have the date numerology and this 6th win in the 13th. So this thing that Dakota linked, the biggest concern to me is that Georgetown can get their 41st all-time loss today on a 41 date numerology. But like I said, it seems that the immediate season is definitely more important than the historical series record. So Villanova's thing seems to play second fiddle. Okay. Yeah, these things that Dakota's getting, I got to figure out how to pull these up. Yeah, this is really good information. Okay, I need to spend time and figure out how to get these documents. Again, if you guys click the link that Decode pulled up, you should be looking at the same thing I was. But Georgetown, they got a nice narrative tonight. That would also make them 6-7, kind of like 67, the 19th prime. Here we are in 2019. That's just a thought. Okay, Florida, LSU. So LSU right away, they can get the 22nd win on the 22 date. That stands out. It's going to be 13th game for both. Let's see here. All right, I'm going to try to pull up this thing here. LSU Tigers college basketball team website. We got to look at these documents. These are a must. LSUsports.net. Athletics. All right. Athletics. I just don't know about that. I think it's going to be the administration. LSU athletics, basketball, schedule, preview. Try what GB said here. Game notes. Okay. All right, here we go. Game notes. How come nothing just came up with that? Why did nothing just come up? Seriously? Well, I think this is where we want to be, but for some reason, nothing's coming up. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't want to waste time doing this, but this is obviously something we need to do to get those nitty-gritty details. So, all right. Dakota's got it in the chat. Caller? Dakota's got it in the chat. Caller, you got to mute the video. All right. The link that Dakota linked is giving me a 404 error, unfortunately. All right. All right. Jeremy linked this. Let me see if it works on my other computer. No, on the other computer, it's not working either. Caller?
Hey, Zach. Hey, you got to go to the schedule, man. Like, go to the schedule tab.
Schedule.
Yeah, and then for like each individual game is how you'll find it. Go to the team website and then the schedule.
Okay, I got the schedule up.
All right, and then there should be a thing for like game notes underneath the individual game.
Notes.
I'm trying to pull it up on my phone as we speak.
Okay.
LSU. Oh, geez, I'm sorry, Zach. I should have waited till I had it up. But yeah, so are you on the schedule homepage?
For LSU, you're talking about, right?
Correct.
Okay.
All right. And then you should see where it says for the Florida game.
Right.
And then it says preview somewhere. Do you see that where it says preview?
I see preview.
Notes?
Yeah, preview preview and notes are two different things, but I see both.
Well, it's probably the notes that you want to go to on that where I'm talking about. Go to the notes, and that should be it.
Okay. This doesn't look the same as the type of document that Decode was linking before.
Yeah, there's a PDF option somewhere. Like each site is different, but that's how you get to it. You go to the schedule, look up the individual game, and look for a preview or game notes.
Okay.
And it'll be there. All righty?
All right, appreciate it.
All right, no problem, bro.
All right, take care. All right, I'm just reading through this right here to see if it's got the kind of information. When I figure out how to do this, I'm just going to make a separate video, short video, so that people will all know how to get this information for each game. And it probably is a little bit different for every school's page, but obviously the information's out there, so. All right. I'm not seeing what we want, though. Yeah, the Dakota's link for the Florida game seems to be broken. It's not working for me. Yeah, I do Q&A. I mean, this is a Q&A right here. You guys can call in and ask anything you want. We do the decode, and, you know, the phone line's open. Okay. Well, I'm not going to – all right, we're spending too much time doing that today. I need to figure out how to do that on my own time so it can be efficient. And I am seeing, though, that that's need-to-know information. That's going to give us the extra edge and help us be even more accurate. All right, let's look at LSU, Florida, head-to-head here. Caller?
Yeah, hey, Zach. I was if you go to the what I'm doing is going to like the sports reference, and it goes back to 1949 to 1950, and I believe that's all the games, or is it games before that?
There's games before that. That's the major school era.
Okay.
Yeah, that I don't know if you saw at the beginning of the video, but I was just showing how like the North Carolina, like if you look on here, it's going to be the 180th game between North Carolina and Duke today, but if you go all time, it'll be the 249th game between them.
Yeah, I got you. All right, and that same game, man, on the they got an article about the Duke. They saying that the tickets is like Super Bowl tickets. They saying basically the least amount of tickets to go see Zion, and they saying it's all because of Zion Williams. So I don't know if that can help you with the decode of the game coming up today. But
so
I just wanted to let you know they saying the tickets, the least ticket is like $2,500, and that's like the least of the Super Bowl ticket.
Wow, that's crazy.
Interesting fact.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
But, all right, Zach.
Appreciate it. Yeah, so the one interesting thing, again, we'll get to that Duke-North Carolina game, but it's going to be Duke sitting at 111 wins all time against North Carolina. And again, Blue Devils is 111. Zion Williamson's full name's 111. And we've seen all the 111 rituals with Duke this year. So very interesting. That's the all-time win amount that they're at right now. I wanted to see if I can find – okay. Well, just going off the era of modern schools, what stands out about this right here is that LSU has 61 wins against Florida coming into this game. And again, we have a 61 date numerology. It's the 18th prime. That said, the immediate season record shows that LSU can get their 22nd win on a date with 22 numerology. And Florida's not going for a win or loss that corresponds with the date. So, like if Florida was going for their 16th win, we have 16-date numerology. That would make things dicier. But I don't see any reason to believe that LSU would lose. They're the slight favorite at home. So, again, got to go with the date numerology there. Louisville, Syracuse. Let's see. '28th game, modern school era. Louisville leads 18-9. So the interesting thing about that is 61's the 18th prime. Louisville could stay at 18 wins on the 61 date, 61 the 18th prime. Syracuse could also pick up their 18th win, and it's ESPN, the 18 network. So I'd give the edge to Syracuse here. 18th win on the 61 day, keeping Louisville there and keeping Louisville at 18 wins in the series. It's a lot of 61-18. Dakota Manning points out that the LSU coach can get his 20th loss tonight on the 20th, which is interesting. But again, I don't like going with the coaches over the date. The date's always been a better indicator in my opinion. So. He's 39-19, so he can get his 40th win tonight or 20th loss. So that means it's his 59th game tonight too. Okay, but here for this LSU-Syracuse game, Syracuse has a good reason to hold off LSU. 61 day, 18th prime, 18 network. North Carolina Duke. All right. So, again, just in case you weren't here at the beginning, just to make this point. What's up here is from 1949 to 1950s, the major school era. It's going to be the 180th game in the major school era. For all time, like ESPN has up the thing tonight that says it'll be the 249th meeting between North Carolina and Duke. And notice all time going before the major school era, they played 248 games, meaning tonight's number 249. So North Carolina leads 137 to 111, and 111's been the number all year with Duke. So a part of me is even wondering, I'm like, oh man, you know, they're 11-1 in the ACC right now. They became 11-1 earlier in the year in New York, 111 land. In case anyone's typing it in Zion Williamson going, what? His name doesn't equal 111. Again, his full name, Zion Lateef Williamson, equals 111. 111. It's like Blue Devils. It's like how he's destined for New York. And notice Blue Devils and New York are both 111 and 39. In case you weren't following me back then, we called Zion Williamson going to the Blue Devils before he was even there because he was announcing on a date with 39 numerology. So these numbers have been important since the beginning for Zion. I notice also in the modern era, they have 83 wins and 96 losses. And hold up, let me put his name back up here. His name in the most pure cipher is also 96. Let's see. His birthday is July 8th, I'm pretty sure. His birthday, July 8th. July 6th. July 6th, that's right. We just saw Duke become 22-2 on his 222nd day of his age. So let's see what it is today. It's 229 days after his birthday, which is the 50th prime. It's also his 230th day of his age, kind of like 23. Let's see. Duke 41, we got the 41 date. Duke 22, we got the 22 date. Let's see here. Duke Blue Devils 53, the 16th prime, we got the 16 date. Cardinals is 34, we have a 34 date numerology too. Fitting date here. North Carolina Tar Heels 331, the 67th prime. Duke 67, 67 is the 19th prime. North Carolina is also 67. That's right. All right, so we got some overlapping numbers with these teams, which always makes things trickier. What is the magic number that stands out here? I think we're going to have to look at the coaches in this game. Dakota has a good stat in the chat about Roy Williams being at 232 career losses and the game being 23 weeks and 2 days from his birthday. I'm just staring at the numbers here real quick just to see if there's anything I'm overlooking. North Carolina is 90. Look at that. Look at that. Even where they play is 111 and 96. It's just like Zion Williamson's name, 96, 111. 37, the 12th prime. So they can get their 12th win. That'd make them 12-1, kind of like 121, which has a square root of 11. All right, let's see here. Huh. He's at 1,331 games. It's funny with Duke. He's at 281 losses, the 60th prime. His next win's 1,051. He just had his birthday. He just turned no, that's not right. How old is Coach K? He just turned 72. Not Roy Williams. So Roy Williams is at 444 wins with North Carolina, 131 losses with North Carolina. He can get his – it's interesting how his overall losses, like Dakota pointed out, they're also like Duke's record right now. See something real quick. August 1st. Oh, okay, so you measured to his upcoming birthday when you got that stat. You counted the span. Okay. There's got to be. Yeah, Rob Jennings. So what you just said, Rob, is actually something I have in the back of my mind, that 233 is the 51st prime, but Duke's record could also be 23-3 on the 51st day of the year. So that's what's tripping me up here. The 233rd loss, though, is probably more likely. I'm just trying to think of the rhyme and reason. What's the stadium? Did I look at the stadium? God, the stadium's 96 too. That's crazy. So Durham, North Carolina's 96. Zion Williamson's full name's 96. And in the modern era of being big schools, Duke's at 96 losses right now. With a win, they'd be 84-96 in the modern era. The thing about those numbers is they both have a lot to do with masonry. Masonry is 84. Freemason is 96. I think the only thing that we can use out of all the numbers we're looking at to give us an edge for a team is just Duke staying at 96 losses. And part of the reason I'm saying that is because we have this 16 date numerology too. 16 has the relationship with 96. So, God. Let me see how many days it is to Zion Williamson's upcoming birthday real quick. All about Zion. Let's see here. It's 136 days, which is the 16th triangular number, or it's a span of 137 days, the 33rd prime. Rob's saying, what about Jordan? Jordan's birthday was just February 17th. He just turned 56 years old. Let me just see something real quick. I want to look at the dates again for March Madness. March 19th. So that means 27 days from today it starts. What about the championship game? 47 days to the championship game, or a span of 48. Beating the Tar Heels today, 47 days from the championship. It could be symbolic. That's a good point about 16-33, with it being a span of 137 days from his birthday, the 33rd prime. So this will be the 82nd game then at home. And Marty just pointed out the super obvious that I haven't. It's just sitting in front of our face. North Carolina could stay at 20 wins on the 20th. You know what? Yeah. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. Zion has to do with prophecy. And if Duke does win, they'll be 12-1, like Revelations 121, the book that has to do with the prophecy. And that would also make North Carolina 10-3, kind of like 103, the 27th prime. And Revelations, the 27th book of the New Testament. And all of this stuff is absolutely biblical. So, and it's all about Zion. I have a feeling this is going to be a close game, but yeah, Duke probably prevails. North Carolina stays at 20 on the 20th. Roy Williams gets his 233rd loss all time, which is the 51st prime on the 51st day of the year. The scariest thing for Duke is that just them falling to 23-3, kind of like 233 on the 51st day of the year. But I don't see the rhyme and reason of Duke falling to 11-2. 12-1 makes more sense to me. And we're also pretty sure that he's going to the 11th state. 121 has a square root of 11. New York. So Spike Lee recently just said that the Knicks are on the road to Mount Zion, if you guys missed that. That's interesting, Chigozie. I didn't know that. The synagogue is saying 242, huh? So, yeah, I gotta assume Duke's gonna get it done. I'm expecting them to win the championship. Games like this are probably important to win on that path there. So, okay, I just thought of something else. I'm just trying to make sure I'm thinking of all the angles here. Okay, remember how Duke's at 111 wins all time in the series? They're at 111 wins all time in the series. If they did lose, North Carolina would become 11-2. No, that doesn't make sense, though, does it? That doesn't make sense. I'm just trying to make sure there's not any obvious riddle I'm overlooking here. North Carolina's also got those 137 wins all time in the series. It's a span of 137 days from Zion's birthday. The last time they played was on 3-9 last year. That's interesting. I think that's the same day that Zion committed to Duke, isn't it? This is the same day that Zion went to Duke. It was March 9th, 2018. Isn't that right? Hold on. That's funny. Hold on. Oh no, it was a date. It was a date with 39 numerology. It wasn't March 9th. It was a date with 39 numerology. It must have been January 20th, 18. Yeah, January. Never. So okay. Just look at that real quick. How about since the last time they played? It's 11 months and 11 days since the last meeting. I don't know about the Mercury connection. That's above me, Rob. I don't know that one. And I missed the quicksand story, too, at Zion Park, huh? Yeah, that's a good thought there, Chigozie. They could also get their 112th win, Duke, all time against North Carolina. I just think Duke's going to get it done. And again, they can become 12-1, like 121, which has a square root of 11. The last time they played 11 months and 11 days ago. Okay. I think ultimately it's all about Duke's season here in 2019. And like we saw, it's 47 days from the championship. Symbolic win possibly today over North Carolina, 47. Okay. Marquette can get their 22nd win on the 22 date. However, Butler can get their 16th win, and the 16, I would say, is the more pure. Let's see. Marquette. It's going to be the 23rd game, 9th prime. Both teams are 11-11. It's Marquette, the Golden Eagles. Butler's the Bulldogs. All right, let's see here. Marquette's got the 51 connection. We're playing on the 51st day of the year. Okay, Bulldogs. 2-1-2. What's their record? Bulldogs 43, the 14th prime. Butler. Did I just type in the wrong thing a second ago? Hold on. Marquette Golden Eagles. All right, Butler. Bulldogs. The game's in Milwaukee. Milwaukee's 37, the 12th prime. Butler could get their 12th loss in Milwaukee. This game's dangerous, though. This game's here. We can look at their coaches real quick for a tiebreaker. So this is his first season as coach. No, second season. He used to coach in Milwaukee. That's interesting. Well, he could get his 37th win, and he used to coach in Milwaukee. That's interesting. So the Butler coach can get his 37th win in Milwaukee, and that's what Milwaukee equals. There might be a real upset narrative here. Milwaukee's also 53, the 16th prime. So Butler can get their 16th win on a 16 date, and the coach can get his 37th win all time. No, 37th all-time win with Butler in Milwaukee. So I think there's a good upset narrative here. The risk is Marquette picks up their 22nd win on the 22 date, but that 16 date numerology stronger. Milwaukee's also 53, the 16th prime. Again, I did mention Milwaukee's 37, the 12th prime. They get their 12th loss. So there is a little riddle for Marquette, but I think Butler has good numbers to get the upset here. CBS. Let me check out the Marquette coach real quick. It's his 97th game all time. He could stay at 25 losses with Butler. Just another observation. $158th game, 95th win, 64th loss. His numbers aren't as interesting. Butler Bulldogs is 53-2, the 16th prime. Yeah, I think they got a real shot here at an upset tonight. Butler's got a real shot. Check the arena name. I think Butler's worth a look. I'd see what this game pays out. Okay, Nevada, San Diego State. So seeing if anything jumps out here. I'm surprised Nevada's not a bigger favorite. Let's see. It'd be the 18th game on the 61 date. So Nevada is 5-12 against this team all time. Again, we have 41 date numerology. 41's the 13th prime. 13's the 6th prime. What's their nickname? Aztecs. Wolfpack. Oops. Let's see here. Aztecs. Nevada Wolfpack 53, the 16th prime. San Diego State could stay at 16 wins on the 16 date against a fitting opponent. The only thing is, again, the immediate season record has definitely been more important than the historical matchups. Just let's see, Wolfpack, Nevada. Aztecs. Just trying to think of rhyme and reason with why 25th win today. But the date numerology suggests that San Diego State stays at 16 on the 16 date against the school with the 53 Gematria, the 16th prime. So yeah, Nevada probably does get it done there. I think Butler's the school with the chance at the upset tonight. Couldn't find any good reason to believe that North Carolina will beat Duke. Here, let's just review the college games we looked at real quick. Michigan State should pick up the 22nd win on the 22 date. Also get that 13th win on the 41 date, 41 the 13th prime. Georgetown can get the 16th win on the 16 date numerology and their 6th win in the Big East and their 13th conference game, 13 the 6th prime. I think Georgetown's got reason to believe they can upset Villanova tonight. The one thing that concerns me about Villanova is just the symbolism of them being 21-6, 2-1-6. They're a school that's just outside of Philadelphia, and the Kia David in Philadelphia, we've talked about this in the past. The Kia David equals 216. It's a biblical thing. Georgetown's a Jesuit biblical school. And Villanova is also 36. 216 is the product of 6 times 6 times 6. 666 is the 36th triangular number. But just going with the date numerology, just being more direct. 16 date numerology, 6th conference win in 13th game. I think Georgetown's got a good shot at getting it done. LSU will likely pick up the 22nd win on the 22 date. Dakota pointed out that the LSU coach can get their 20th loss on the 20th of the month. But again, I like records more than I like coaches. Unless it's a draw and you can't find anything, then you go to the coaches. Syracuse, we have a 61 date numerology. 61's the 18th prime. Both teams can have 18 wins with a Syracuse win on ESPN, the 18 network. Duke, North Carolina. If Roy Williams loses today, he gets his 233rd loss. 233 is the 51st prime. It's the 51st day of the year. Then again, Duke's record could look like 23-3. But I just think it's Duke's year. So I think Duke beating North Carolina is symbolic. Duke is at 111 wins all time against North Carolina right now. Zion Williamson's full name is 111. Blue Devils is 111. Durham, North Carolina is 111. Remember, there was also the 96 connection. If Duke wins, they stay at 96 losses in the modern era against North Carolina. So then Butler's got good numbers to upset. Butler, 16 date numerology. Milwaukee, where the game is, equals 53, the 16th prime. The coach there can get his 37th win with Butler in Milwaukee. Milwaukee's 37, so we have a record and a coach thing going on for Butler to beat Marquette. But then again, Marquette can get their 22nd win on the 22 date, so it's not a lock. I think if I bet on this game, I just bet on Butler to cover. Could be a down to the last second type of game. And Nevada Wolfpack 53, the 16th prime, keeps San Diego at 16 wins on the 16 date. So I think that's where I'm at with college basketball for today. And let's do NHL real quick. NHL, we just got 4 games. See if we can do as well as we did yesterday. We've been doing great with the NHL. Yesterday was very nice. Let's see. Okay, so it's the 141st day of the NHL season. If there's anything to think about there with that, 33 equals 141. But I'd go with this date numerology first. 61 date numerology, 34 date, 16 date. This 41 right here, we've seen that if a team is going for their 41st win on a date with this type of numerology, they have not been getting it. But in the overall series record, if a team was going for their 41st all-time win against a team, that has been working out. So note about that date numerology. Also 22 date, and again, it's the 20th. 71's the 20th prime. I'm looking for teams that are going for their 61st points. And I see one right away. I see the Blackhawks are going for their 61st points. So I'm already liking it. I'm seeing the Avalanche are going for their 61st points. Who else? Okay, so I'm liking these narratives, but let's look and see what else there is. Make sure there's not something else on the board I'm overlooking there. All right, let's see.
Minimums and fees seem to be the foundation of your typical bank.
Where'd that come from?
Capital One is anything but.
All right, Blackhawks head-to-head win-loss record. Let's see here. Detroit Red Wings. Wow. Is that a misprint? Oh, my God. So it's going to be the 737th game. That makes me think of Chicago. Well, Detroit and Chicago are both 37, actually. Those win-loss numbers are so huge. Let me look at this from Detroit's point of view, too. So Detroit's next win is that 369. 369. 271. Well, that's regulation losses. 271 is the 58th prime. Let's look at the standings here, too, for the immediate season. All right. It's going to be the 61st game for Detroit. They are at home. They can get their 13th home win or 15th home loss. Now, we do have a 41 date, the 13th prime. But I'm thinking those 61st points in the 61st game of the Red Wings, but the 61st points for the Blackhawks, I'm thinking that's making more sense. Blackhawks, it's their 61st game as well. Ooh, they could get their 16th away loss on the 16 date or their 12th away win. And again, Chicago and Detroit are both 37, the 12th prime. Let's run some Gematria too. Wings. Detroit. Detroit's 91, the 13th triangular. They can't get their 13th home win, but it doesn't have to happen. Detroit Red Wings. 89, the 24th prime. 89, the 24th prime. Detroit's next win's their 24th, but it doesn't have to happen today. Chicago. Hawks. 97, the 25th prime. So there's a little narrative here on the board for Detroit. They do have some things. They can get that 13th home win. Blackhawks is also 91, the 13th triangular. But I'm still thinking that I like the Blackhawks because of the 61 points thing on the 61 date. Both teams 61st game. I'm thinking that's the strongest narrative. And we've seen this going very well the last few days. Well, more than a few days now. Getting the points on the date numerology. It seems to be quite the theme. Yeah, if you do the rule for S, Blackhawks is 37 as well. It's also 179, the 41st prime to go with the 41 date. So Detroit, Detroit's best riddle is getting that 13th win at home because this is a fitting opponent to do it against. But I'm thinking the 61 points is what plays. The only thing missing from this game, no, yeah, I got to go with that 61 points thing. It's not a super strong pick. It's not like all the chips are for the Blackhawks, but I think the chip that's playing the most is definitely in the favor of the Blackhawks. All right, let's look at the Jets and the Avalanche. Jets and the Avalanche. Okay. All right, 45th game. The Jets lead 23-11. Count the overtime losses. It's 23-20. All right, so nobody's win total goes with the date numerology here. Let's see what it is for the standings. The Jets can get their 16th away win on the 16th, or they can get their 13th loss on the 41 day. Colorado could also get their 13th home loss. So again, it's not a pure read because the Jets do have one riddle on the board. The Jets could also get their 20th home loss on the 20th. But I'm thinking those 61st points are where it's at. So let me just make sure there's not something else but points. Colorado Avalanche. Jets. Go back. Winnipeg is 97, the 25th prime. Now, theoretically, they could get a 25 in the win or loss column. But those 61st points, again, we've just seen how good that pattern's been. Oh, look at that. God, Winnipeg Jets is 61 too. So they can get their 61st points over the Winnipeg Jets on the 61 date numerology. Gotta like that. Okay. So 61. I'm going with the 61s. I'm riding the points wave. Islanders Flames. Islanders Flames. Let's see here. Unfortunately, we don't have the points narratives. The Flames have 79 points, the 22nd prime, 22 date numerology. But we didn't. No, I'm not even going to say that counts for anything. All right, let's see here. There's Calgary Flames. Calgary Flames. 117th game. Somebody can get their 51st win today on the 51st day of the year. That's the Islanders. So the Islanders can get the 51st win on the 51st day of the year. Something to keep in mind. The Islanders, though, can also get their 18th loss on the 61 date. 61, the 18th prime. So we got two riddles that contradict each other with the Islanders. Let's see here. Islanders could stay at – wait a minute. They're on the road, aren't they? They're on the road. Islanders could get their 18th away win as well on the 61 date. Either the 18th loss or the 18th away win, so that could go either way. Calgary could stay at 18 home wins. So the away and home records could work with this date. Caller?
Hey, Zach, are you still in the live stream?
Yeah.
So, not exactly sports related, I'm sorry to interrupt, but my Patreon says that your video is 1 hour and 50 minutes and 58 seconds. And I'm wondering, because I'm on Eastern time, your video started at 12:56 Eastern. How does it know the length of the video? Is this pre-recorded or anything like that?
That must be yesterday's video.
Okay, I'll double check. Sorry to interrupt. Next time I'll call back with better insight.
There should be a live stream right now on Patreon you can join.
No, I'm on it. I'm lagged a little bit, so I'm catching up.
Okay, there should be a live one right now.
I'm taking notes. I'm learning the knowledge, and soon enough, I'll be on here more often.
Okay. Yeah, you can call me back later.
Best of luck.
All right, take care, man. Okay, so Calgary can stay at 18 home wins. The Islanders can pick up their 18th road win. Again, it's the 61 date, the 18th prime. And wasn't there one other? The other thing was the Islanders could get their 51st win on the 51st day of the year. So I'm seeing more riddles go for the Islanders. The only thing that's scary, though, is they could get that 18th loss as well. Here, let's see if we get something in the points here. Islanders 61. They got the 61 connection. New York Islanders 77. Well, if it ended up being a 1-point advance, they could be at 77 points. So that would be an overtime loss. What's the puck line on this game? Probably 1.5 points to the Flames. This might be a puck line bet game here. The Islanders are the favorite? Oh, no, they're not. Okay. Rob Jennings likes to use the M cubed. I assume you're talking about M cubed there, Rob. Okay. Hold on, let's check the other way to see. Flames got the connection to the date, 20 and 34. That's our numerology today. But unfortunately, that's not showing up in our win-loss columns. Calgary, 41 date too. Seeing if there's anything here. Calgary Flames, 51. And again, they can get their 51st win over the Calgary Flames on the 51st day of the year. So the Islanders seem to have more riddles in their favor here. 18th road win for them. 18th. What was it? The Flames, do they stay at 18? Is that what it was? Flames would stay at 18. And also getting that 51st win. I was just hoping I would see something with the overall points, and I didn't see that. The only thing there was with the points is that if the Islanders got an overtime loss, they'd be at 77 points. So if you can get a puck line in favor of the Flames, I would take the Islanders to cover the puck line against the Flames. That's the way I would bet this game. Because the one big scare is that they could get their 18th loss as well. And sometimes that's just the way it is. One team, like the Islanders definitely have more riddles in their favor, but sometimes it's just that one riddle that goes against them that haunts. So I give the edge to the Islanders there, but yeah, so that's what I mean. The Flames are the 1.5 point favorite. I'd take the puck line on that. I'd take the puck line and hope the Islanders do get the best of that narrative, but it's a little bit risky. Okay, Bruins, Golden Knights. The first thing that screams out is the Bruins can get their 18th loss. That's the first thing that jumps out here. 61 the 18th prime. It is. We did say it's the 141st day of the NHL season. When you write out 33, it equals 141. I see the Golden Knights can get their 33rd win. We have a 22-date numerology. Boston's 22. Let's see. Bruins. Boston. What points is it? Bruins. The Bruins with an overtime loss would get to 79 points. So it could be an overtime loss game here. Golden Knights pick up the W. Let's see. Golden Knights. I think it's Golden Knights, 89 the 24th prime. Somebody just said something. It's 89 days from the Bruins coach birthday. Yeah, it's interesting. Let's look at the head-to-head here for these teams. That could be a lot. So this will be the fourth game, and the Bruins lead 2-1. That means the series could be evened at 2-2 today on the 22-date numerology, where Boston's 22. Oh, and they can get their 18th loss against Vegas. So that also makes sense. 18th loss against Vegas. 61 the 18th prime. Yeah, I think I like that. I think I do. I just wish there was something with the points, but it's okay. The 18th loss goes with the date. Vegas 18, so that makes sense. You got a date and a city connection. All right, let's review again. 61-date numerology. Blackhawks can get the 61st points. It's not as strong of a read as other days we've seen, but the points, again, they've been hitting. So I got to follow the 61 points. Same thing with the Avalanche. This is probably the game that pays out better, too. We also talked about how Winnipeg Jets equals 61 in our most pure cipher. So you got to like that. They can get their 61st points over the Winnipeg Jets. We just got the Avalanche beating a really good team on the road not long ago. I mean, that was a long shot game, and they took it there. So at home, I think they got it. Islanders, they can get the 18th road win. Flames can stay at 18 home losses, and the Islanders can get their 51st win against the Flames on the 51st day of the year. And something equaled 51. Was it Calgary Flames? Yeah, it was. Calgary Flames is 51 too. The only scare with this game is the Islanders can pick up their 18th loss. Again, 61 the 18th prime, 61 day. So little risky here. Golden Knights should get the Bruins. Bruins get the 18th loss. Vegas equals 18. Golden Knights get the 33rd win on the 141st day of the season. When you write out 33, it equals 141. So I think we got some pretty good reads here on the NHL today. And then just let's review college basketball again one more time for anybody who showed up late. Yeah, here, before I go back to college basketball, just in case somehow you missed what I said a second ago about hockey, what I would do in this game is I would take the puck line for the Islanders. So if they lose by a goal, you still win. Okay, let's go back to college basketball. Let's do the review. Michigan State, no reason to think they'll lose, plus huge favorite anyway. 22nd win on 22 date, very likely. Georgetown. This game's tight, but Georgetown can get the 16th win on the 16 date, get their 6th win in the Big East in the 13th game, 13 the 6th prime. So I'm thinking Georgetown can hold off Villanova here. I'd take the points because there is a little riddle for Villanova too. LSU, I'm expecting them to get the 22nd win on the 22 date. There's no real good numbers for Florida, but there's not real strong numbers either way. Again, the problem with the 22 date is it's only the date numerology that uses the day and the month, which is probably our weakest form. But it's one of the only things to go off of this game. Dakota pointed out in the chat that LSU, if the coach lost, he'd get his 20th loss on the 20th. I'd still go with the date in the record over the coach, but not a real strong riddle there. Louisville, Syracuse, 61 date again, 61 the 18th prime, ESPN the 18 network. Notice both teams can have 18 wins in the column. North Carolina, Duke. We really can't find a strong read on either team. Duke's at their magic number, 111 wins all time against North Carolina. If Duke lost, I would say, okay, well, then that's what it must have been about, them keeping on 111 in the year of Zion Williamson. This is going to be probably the only time Zion Williamson plays North Carolina unless they meet in the tournament. But I just think the narrative is about Duke being this dominant team. It's their year. It seems like beating North Carolina has to be part of the symbolism. So I favor Duke to get the win here. And that's just ultimately going off of, I expect Duke to be the top team. They got to win games like this to be the top team. Butler, Marquette, 16-8 numerology. Butler can get the 16th win. The 16-date numerology is stronger than the 22-date numerology because the 22 date's just the day and the month. The 16's all the digits of the date. The game's in Wisconsin. Wisconsin has Gematria 53, the 16th prime. And did I say Wisconsin? I meant to say Milwaukee. Milwaukee equals 53, the 16th prime. Milwaukee also equals 37, and Butler's coach can get his 37th win as Butler's coach. So I think Butler's got the riddle here. The one scare is Marquette can get this 22nd win at home on the 22 date. I'd take the points, but I think Butler's got a good shot at the upset. And Nevada Wolfpack equals 53, the 16th prime, keeps San Diego State at 16 wins on the 16 date. It's really all there is to go off for that game. Big favorite on the road anyhow. So I suspect if we see an upset today, it will be Butler. I think Butler's got the best chance to upset. I guess technically Georgetown's an upset too. Georgetown's got a good shot as well. They're at home though, so Butler's on the road against a top team. This would be the bigger upset, probably the better payout as well. Oh, Duke and North Carolina play one more time, huh? Okay. I'm not going to let that change my judgment on the game. If Roy Williams loses today, he gets his 233rd loss, the 51st prime. It's the game's on the 51st day of the year. The only scare, though, is Duke being 23-3, which is kind of like 233. But, yeah, I think Duke stays the #1 seed, so. Let me just make sure. Duke's got an abstract connection to 13. 233 is the 13th Fibonacci number. I'm just going to stay with my initial thought there on Duke. Denim says, does anybody consider the Islanders dangerous? And do you mean picking the Islanders? Is that what you mean by that? I assume that's what you mean. Let's come back to the Islanders game. Again, if I was going to bet on the Islanders, I'd bet on them to cover the puck line because the danger is they could get their 18th loss on the 61 date numerology, 61 the 18th prime. So, yeah, that does make it a little dangerous. Then again, Islanders can get the 18th road win, keep the Flames on 18, and get the 51st series win on the 51st day of the year. So I'd take the puck line if you're going to bet on the Islanders. Them to cover that 1.5-point spread. So again, follow the 61 points on the 61 date numerology. You know, it's been a winning method. Bruins can get the 18th loss against Vegas, 61 the 18th prime. I think we got some good reads though here in the NHL. So I suspect we'll be happy tomorrow. Let's wrap it up for here today. I'm gonna try and figure out how to get these college, you know, the thing that we spent some time, these PDF documents, because they really are packed with the information we need. They're just tricky to get to. Hey, Dakota, if you're in the U.S., could you call me up? I'd appreciate if you called me up because you're good at finding those documents. All right, you guys, we'll wrap it up here for today. Be back tomorrow, same time. Again, we do this Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern. Have a great day, Truth Seekers. Until next time.